Hello, welcome to Petit Universe. In this lesson, we'll be talking about if statements. So let's dive into it. Firstly, we'll need to include the input-output stream by doing an include input-output stream. I've been talking about it in the previous videos. So if you want to check them out, just check them out. So let's start. So an if condition is basically like in live example like I'll give you. So someone asks you, if you like apples, what will you do? And you'll just answer, I'll eat them. Or if you do not like apples, you'll just say, I don't like them. So we can basically use this if statements the same way as in live in code. So let's create a variable called bool, which stands for boolean, and let's call it let's just call it apples, and assign it to false. Always remember to assign your variables. This is really crucial. So you'll just write an if apples equals to true. So it's like if I like apples, I'll print out to the console, or I'll say if in live example. So it's like std cout and I love apples. Else I'll just say I don't like them. And end line. So the program will run next. We have a apples variable which is initially initialized to false statement, but I do love apples, so let's change that to true. And it'll check if apples equals to true, it'll print I love apples, and else, meaning if something else, then it'll just print I don't like apples. But of course there can be else if, meaning multiply statements. So like apples equals false. Wait, it gives an error. And let's run and check it out. So as you can see, it says I love apples because the apples is initially initialized to true. But what if we'll change the data type to, for example, int, and just give it numbers and assign the numbers variable to 0. So we'll check if the numbers is equal to 0, and we'll print 0 if numbers, let's call it number, better be, is equal to 1. Let's print 1. And if number is equal to anything else, let's just print the number itself to check what it is equals to. And let's run the program. So as you can see, it checked that the variable is equal to 0 and print out the 0 value. But it didn't print the actual value of the variable itself. So let's, for example, make it 111 and run the program. And as you can see, it printed out the actual value of the variable. So it's check if it's equal to 0, no, 1, no. Okay, I don't know what it is equals to, so let's just print the number itself. So it's like it doesn't have a condition to which it can compare. There is no described condition scenario for it. So else is used basically for anything else. So let's try to write a calculator. Let's try to write something really cool, a really cool calculator. So let's have a number which is 1, or let's just call it a, equals to 0. Always initialize your variables. That's really crucial. And let's write something to the console so the user could understand what this program is all about. So let's print enter a, end line. Let's copy that and enter b. So let's get the values from the user from the console input with the console input. So let's write the enter a. The user enters a number, and let's store that number in an a variable. The same goes with b. So now we do have the numbers which the user entered, and we want to give the user some options of what this calculator can do. So let's write option 1 or 0, option 0 add end line. So the phrase won't go just straight in the console, it will be written in on a new line, starting from a new line. And option 1, let's make it subtraction, right, sorry. Subtract. I hope I've written that correctly. Subtract. Let's go with divide. I am sure that's written correctly. So now the user will be able to see the options of our calculator, which is add and divide. You can also add other options, so you can try it out on your own. Add subtraction, multiply, bit, shifting, and all other cool stuff to your calculator. But currently we'll stick with these two options to keep it short and simple. So we do now have the variables and we have the options, but how to say to the program which option is chosen. So we'll need to create another variable. For this we can create a boolean variable which will be called variant, which is false. Oh, let's assign it to 0. So if we need to read the variant which the user selected, so read that variant, and we will check if variant is equals to option 0, then it's add, and we will need to use another variable. Of course we can replace the previous value with the new value, so it can be also written as this in order to avoid creating additional variables. So it will be like a equals a plus b. This way we'll take the a variable, add it to the b variable, and rewrite the value of an a variable with the result of addition a and b. The same goes with the divide operator. So we'll check else if variant is equals to 1, it will divide. So that's a equals a divided by b. And in the end, when we have a result, we want to print out the result. So std out a and end line. And there you have it. You have yourself a simple calculator. So let's run it. So enter a, let it be 5. Enter b, 5. And here you can choose the options. So let's first add them. and that will be 10. So let's continue, and the same will be with the divide option. If you divide them, it will be 1. But what if we'll change the variant to a int variable, type variable, and when you enter the variant option from the console, it'll also work. But what if we want always to, if it is not addition, then we want to always use the divide operator. So it'll be like else. So it will check if the variant is not equal to 0, then else always divide. So let's run and check. So let's enter number 10, 10, and divide. And if I'll enter, for example, 6, it'll just divide. As it choose the variant of the else block. And you can also create some multiple conditions, such as else if variant is equal to 1, it'll divide, and else, let's do some error handling here. If the input isn't correct, we'll just write incorrect input, new line. And let's enter option 8. It says incorrect input. Oh, right. It also print out the a variable. We will also learn here how to debug the program. So we can just check, like put a breakpoint here and hit F10. This is the debugging process. So you will face this a lot in your programming life. So it will be like F10. Let's go over all the instructions. Pum pum pum. Get the input. Got the input. Print. Get another input. Just say it is equal to 10 because you assigned it to 10. And choose the variant, which is 0, for example. Well, let's do it an 8. So it checks if variant, which is, you can see here, it is a value of 8. It checks 8 equal to 0, no. 8 equal to 1, no. Okay, then else just print the incorrect input. And the value of a is equals to 10 because you entered here the 10 value. Print and return, and just press F5 to continue run the program. And it closed as it was the end of the program. So if we don't want to print out the a variable, well, there are a couple of options to avoid doing that. You can exit the program right here by doing a return 0, so it will fully exit the program. Let's try that out. So 10, 8, incorrect input, and that's all. And what if you want to run this program until the user enters a correct value? Well, we can do that, of course, but for that you will need to learn the loops, how they work, while, for loops, and other kind of loops. And you will be able to learn this in the next video, so if you're excited, go and check them out. See you in the next video.